Dear students, in the previous class we have studied about the excess functions. There are various thermodynamic excess functions we have studied. That is excess chemical potential, excess free energy, excess volume, excess entropy, excess enthalpy. All these things we have studied in the last class. Today we are going to study how to determine the excess volume and excess enthalpy. See, determination of excess volume we have studied in the last class. What is the excess volume? The excess volume actually gives the variation of activity coefficient with respect to pressure. For any ideal system, the excess volume is always equal to 0. We already studied in the case of thermodynamics of real solutions. For any ideal system, the thermodynamic, the excess, the change in volume on mixing is equal to 0. But the V value must be equal to 0, but actually it is not so. It has some value. So therefore, the excess volume to find out, we have see there must be some deviation, either positive or negative. That is why we have to find out the activity coefficient values. That is, when the excess volume for any ideal system will become equal to 0, then automatically what happens? The variation of activity coefficient will be independent of pressure. But actually it is not so. We have to find out exactly what is exactly excess volume for any real system. For this, we are using the instrument called dialectometer. Dialectometer is used, okay, this is dialectometer, is used to find out the excess This is the dialectometer we are using. This is the reference mark. And this AB are the two glass bulbs in which we have filled with mercury. This is filled with mercury. And here we have syringe. Listen. This instrument called dialectometer, the two solutions are taken in the two glass tubes AB. The solutions are inserted. Okay. The solutions are inserted by means of a syringe. This is completely filled with mercury. And there is a capillary tube in which there is a reference mark. Say after filling the two solutions in the dialectometer, this dialectometer is kept in a thermostat for about half an hour. After attaining the equilibrium temperature, when the temperature remains constant, by keeping the dialectometer in the thermostat itself, it is tilted. Okay, it is tilted 2 to 3 times so that the solutions are completely mixed and the range in the level of the capillary is noted with respect to the reference mark. Now, after mixing, the difference in the capillary range is taken as delta H. Delta H is difference in the level of capillary range. Okay, this is delta H we are measuring. By knowing the delta H value, we can easily find out the volume of mixing. That is, delta H is capillary range. Okay, or capillary range in centimeters. Okay, so therefore, what happens? This difference in the height before mixing and after mixing is calculated. Range before and after mixing, the height of the range in the capillary, that is mercury in a capillary tube, is calculated. From this, how to find out the excess volume? The excess volume is calculated as by using this equation. Excess volume in centimeter cube per mole will be equal to pi r square delta H divided by N1 plus N2. Pi r square is nothing but internal area of cross section of the capillary tube. This is pi r square, internal area of cross section of capillary tube. Okay, of capillary tube, and delta H is this difference of height raised in the capillary tube, and N1 and N2 are the number of moles of constituent 1 and constituent 2, or we can say the number of moles of solution 1 and solution 2 which undergoes mixing. So therefore, by knowing the value of capillary range before and after mixing, we can easily find out the excess volume by using the instrument called dialitometer. Similarly, we are going to determine the excess enthalpy the excess enthalpy. Here also, we know that the excess enthalpy we have studied minus RT square N1 dou ln gamma 1 with respect to temperature plus N2 dou ln gamma 2 divided by dou T. Here the excess enthalpy or enthalpy of mixing for any ideal system must be equal to 0. But when it is equal to 0, then the activity coefficient will become independent of temperature. But actually it is not so. There is a slight deviation. It may be either positive or negative. Here we have to find out, okay, by using the heat change on mixing of the two solutions, which will give you the value of activity coefficient, which represents the deviation from ideal behavior. So how to change the heat change? The heat change can be calculated by using calorimeter. Okay, calorimeter we have. In a calorimeter is used. In the calorimeter we have two vessels, each have 5 thermopines, that is constantan thermopines, copper constantan thermopines are used. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Similarly, 1, 2. These thermopines, okay, these thermopines like this. These thermopines are connected to a galvanometer. Okay, this is connected to galvanometer. This is connected to the galvanometer. So therefore, what happens when the two solutions are mixed together? The heat change on mixing is sensed by constantan copper thermopines. This thermopines is connected to the galvanometer. There will be heat change occurs. The heat change, that is that heat change is responded by the galvanometer. So therefore, from the galvanometer reading, we can find out the value of delta H. From the delta H, we can easily find out what is the heat change, okay, on mixing of these two solutions. For this, see, there may be exothermic, it may be positive deviation or it may be negative deviation in this case. In the case of exothermic process, how to find out the enthalpy change, okay, or excess enthalpy, that is calculated as excess enthalpy is given in terms of joules per mole, will be equal to C square RT delta H1 divided by delta H2 into N1 plus N2. What is the C? C is the current, registered current in amperes. Okay, current in amperes paused for a time t seconds. Okay, t is the time. Okay, see, current passed through the calorimeter, okay. How much time you have spent, how much time you have supplied, this is given by T, and a heater of resistance. R is the heater of resistance. R is the resistance. Okay, R is the resistance. And delta H1 and delta H2 are the equilibrium changes, the position of the galvanometer. Delta H1 and delta H2 are nothing but the equilibrium changes position in the galvanometer before mixing and after mixing. So therefore, when we know all these values, we can easily find out the excess enthalpy when it gives out heat energy. Okay, when it gives out heat energy, that is in the case of exothermic process, particularly in the case of positive deviation. Okay, but if it is endothermic process, that also can be calculated. In the case of endothermic process, the excess enthalpy calculated in terms of joules per mole, it will be equal to C square or T1 plus T2 delta H1 divided by delta H2 to N1 plus N2. Okay. Here also T1 and T2 are the times during which the current C amperes is passed through the heater with the resistance R, okay, for compensation and calibration. And we know that the delta H1 and delta H2 again are the position changes of the galvanometer in equilibrium before and after mixing, and N1 and N2 are the number of moles of solution 1 and solution 2. We can easily find out the what is called as excess enthalpy. So therefore, the excess enthalpy is calculated by using a device called a calorimeter. So in which the heat is responded by a copper constanton thermopiles which is connected to the galvanometer. The heat change is corresponds to the changes in the equilibrium position of the galvanometer. By using this, we are measuring the value of delta H1 and delta H2. Knowing these two values, we can easily find out the excess enthalpy for both positive deviation and for negative deviations. The next topic we will study in the next class.